Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your tarot session. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am very excited for this session, and I kept getting the image of the Knight of Wands. It just kept popping up in my mind today, and I knew it was for you. I don't know exactly what it means, and I'm curious to see why. I've been called to show up for you at my tarot table and again, kind of honor the energy of the Knight of Wands. We've just moved in the fire horse year, which is interesting for Taurus because we are fixed earth. So I've been curious to know how this is going to impact us, what is kind of possible for us through that. So we're going to check in with the present moment. Of course, we're going to be looking at what is possible, what is showing up for us before the end of the month also. And I'll be doing an in-depth reading for March, probably early next week. We'll see. We'll see when it feels aligned. Thank you for subscribing, for liking. It really makes a difference. I have so many new Taurus folks that subscribe from the last reading. Again, it means a lot. It helps the channel be seen and be pushed. I'm not someone who asks for a like and subscribe. Sometimes it feels a little annoying, but it, again, really makes a difference, so thank you. You can also find me on Instagram. You can find me over on Patreon and also my main channel, The Birth of Venus Tarot. All the links are pinned in the comments. Okay, so Taurus, hope you've been well. I've been taking a little bit of time off, getting inspired. I was very lucky and was invited last week to a Nine Inch Nails show, which was so fabulous, and I'm still kind of floating. I feel inspired, and I feel like a lot of Tauruses that I've been talking to, a lot of Taurians, are also inspired, wanting to create, wanting to kind of be bold and try different things. So let me know in the comments, like, what has been inspiring you recently? Are you wanting to create something? Seven of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So of course, reality is showing up very clearly, just saying, okay, you might feel called to try certain things, to make bold moves. You feel the fire inside your belly clearly, but the Seven of Pentacles is inviting us to be patient. There are still a lot of details to figure out. You are supposed to move slow. You are supposed to honor your sacred pace. This is one of our cards. It's a Taurus card. And it's a confirmation that we've planted a lot of seeds and they are growing, but we are not in control of the pace of how fast those seeds are growing. Let me pick a second general energy from my own personal tarot deck, the Hermetic Tarot. Is there another card that is wanting to come through as general energy? The Nine of Cups. Okay, so yeah. You know, the Nine of Cups is known as the wish card. It's the Lord of material happiness. It's a sense of we feel accomplished. So the waiting is leading to that. The waiting is leading to the wish come true. Something that you want. And I think that it's getting clearer and clearer in the month of February what you actually want and what is actually aligned with your values and what do you value. We've been, and that's not just Taurus, but as a collective, we've been breaking free from the chains of old beliefs, and we've been seeing and feeling the walls dissolve. Everything that we felt like we were supposed to do, all the rules that were created for us, were breaking now in some way. So what you were doing that came from what your family expected of you, what you pressured yourself into, that box, you've never fit into that box anyway. So there's something here about, yes, you are free from those chains. You've identified them. You have let the walls come down. But after a powerful transformation like that, you are just like the butterfly ready to come out of the cocoon, but your wings are still wet. And that sounds very cliche, but it's true. You cannot just fly away. You cannot just take that leap of faith right now, because you're still getting used to this new version of you. Okay, let's see. Taurus, what wants to come through today? Oh, and by the way, Taurus, I wanted to say, I've had a few people in the last reading sending very crazy, mean comments my way, saying that I talk too much, that I should rush, that I should go faster, pick more cards, and not talk as much. And those folks were blocked right away. As a Taurus myself, and as someone who loves the tarot so deeply, I will never rush a session. Never in my life. I'm not here to boost your ego. I'm not here to just throw cards on the table and, have a quick instant gratification type of reading. This is not what I do. If this is what you're looking for, my readings are not going to be for you. But I was very surprised to see very mean comments about me needing to shut up. And I was like, where do you think you are? Go get your ego boost somewhere else, because this is not the place and this is not how I use the tarot. This is a magical tool, a sacred tool, and I use it very carefully. I don't schedule readings. I don't post 6, 7 readings a day. I will never do that. And I will never rush a session. This is a time of reflection, and it requires us being present, and it invites us to slow down. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you for honoring my pace. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I hope that my readings bring you something magical and powerful, but I hope they help you slow down and be present. Okay, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Sun card, and we have the Page of Wands. It's interesting again because I showed up today kind of feeling invited, feeling pulled in by the energy of the Knight of Wands. The Sun card reminds me so much of the Knight of Wands. Page of Wands, of course, is what comes right before. So it's interesting how, again, my intuition is saying, okay, take a bold step, move faster. But the cards are bringing me back into presence. They're bringing me back into kind of the step right before. Four of Cups being the first card out is absolutely beautiful. This is a card of boundaries, emotional boundaries, how sometimes it's essential to say no. And when we're saying no, we are making space for what eventually will feel like a yes. So, Four of Cups, checking in with yourself. Is it a yes for me? Do I have the capacity to show up for that person, to say yes to that invitation, or is it a no? And when we choose to say no, this card invites us to not feel bad about it, to not blame ourselves, because again, we are making space for something way bigger. The Sun, the Page of Wands, we're talking about something that's being initiated, something that lights up our soul. our soul is on fire here, clearly. But it comes after a moment where, again, we're having to say no, and it feels quite uncomfortable. It's not easy to kind of keep up with your boundaries and maintain them. It's not easy to feel like we're disappointing someone by telling them no. No, I'm not available. No, I don't have the capacity to show up for you right now in the way that you would want to. The sun is full of creativity, inspiration. It says, don't do too much. It also reminds us that we have to show up with love and not only with our ego in the driver's seat. Because this is a Leo card. The Leo energy, and I'm not necessarily talking about Leo folks, but the Leo energy is like the center of the universe. It's like you're the star of the show. It takes a lot of space. And when the sun comes up, and I know it's a lot of folks' favorite card, but I think it's one of the most misunderstood cards in the tarot, we sometimes feel like it's like too good to be true, or there's just like too much happening at once. And then the fear can start creeping in. Okay, when are things going to go bad? This is something that shows up a lot for me with the sun card. I always have this feeling of, okay. Remember when like things were happening and there was just like so much at once, and eventually I felt burnt out. So how can I make sure I apply the wisdom that I've acquired after feeling burnt out, after having to kind of force myself to pause and slow down? How can I make sure to not get to that point? Because the sun will burn you out. Too much of something is not necessarily good. And the tarot reflects kind of this whole spectrum. There's no good card and bad cards. That is something that we all need to unlearn and relearn with the tarot. There's not like positive and negative cards. Each of the cards represent a whole spectrum of the human experience. So again, the sun can burn you out. But how can I apply the wisdom? By saying no, by maintaining those boundaries. It is crucial right now that you make space, that you keep space or create more space for whatever wants to show up next, because the Page of Wands is inspired, he's ready, he's saying yes to something. The way that the page is looking at the wand here, it's like, this is just a piece of wood to some, but for me, I'm going to create something out of this. I have an idea, it's unique, it's different, I'm going to put my own signature onto something, and I'm going to get curious around like, how can I do this my own way? There was something, Taurus, that you were meant to offer, you were meant to create. It's kind of like the energy is gaining momentum. You can definitely feel like there's this fire within you, but you're still figuring out certain details, which is okay. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, that it's a bad idea, that it's not going to work. But you're being tested right now. You're being tested around, again, are you still going to do too much? Or are you going to practice what you preach, slow down, and make sure that you, again, apply the wisdom that you've acquired? This is not your first rodeo, Taurus. It isn't. What is born out of the sun and the Page of Wands? What is born out of those energy? What begins here? Wheel of Fortune. This is a shift in your destiny because you're honoring something again. You're able to take a step back, to not see the step back as I'm failing, it's not working. You're using that step back to look at the bigger picture and say, okay, let me look at what I've done in the past, the things I've learned there. Let me look at the present moment. What do I have control over? What are my tools? Who can I work with, collaborate with? What's coming up right now in the present moment? And also looking at the future in a healthy way, in a grounded way, and saying, okay, those are the things that are possible. Let me dream big. Let me dream more. Let me look kind of beyond what is obvious and beyond what I've known. What if? What if this time things really expand and grow in a way that they've never grown before? So the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, it's something destined. It's number 10. So to me, kind of confirms again that you're making space for something bigger, which I love. You could feel like you want to declutter, literally making space with the material, decluttering your house, donating clothes that don't fit you. Sometimes, it's like doing a big, big cleanup and how good it feels. And for some of you, it could be energetically, not dwelling on something that you cannot control, feeling like you're giving this extra push from the universe to not obsess over the situation, again, that you cannot control. You could wake up one day and just notice that you haven't thought about this past person for a few days. You haven't felt activated about a challenging situation in the same way. There's something that's changing in your energy here. And the Page of Pentacles is at the heart of your reading, Taurus. Listen, this is the student. This is such a beautiful card to have at the heart of the reading, especially that we have the Seven of Pentacles here in general energy. All the seeds that you've planted in the past few years, there's one specific seed that it just feels so aligned with who you're becoming. It feels exciting. I like that. It feels like a green light in this moment. When I said, I feel like you're being called to kind of race towards something and make a bold move. I do feel like the month of March, there's going to be this shift for you. How right now you're still figuring out something, but you're getting the green light. You stopped overthinking something. Wait, Two of Cups. Interesting. There's something that's coming up, Taurus, and I want to honor it. And I don't know why this is coming up so strongly. And my eyes are kind of fixed on the Wheel of Fortune. And now the Two of Cups kind of peek through. Taurus has left the building. What did you leave behind? That was something that you've outgrown? Something that you went as far as you could with? Because I'm getting Taurus has left a building and it seems very important. Tell me more. You're bringing your magic somewhere else. New territories. Bringing your vision, this new vision, into new territories. And you've left the building. Yeah, 10 of Cups. Okay. So this is the confirmation I needed. 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So underneath this feeling that I have right now, what's hidden kind of behind the veil, is the 5 of Swords. There was a situation where someone made you feel like you did something wrong, or someone made you feel like you weren't good enough. It lived in your mind rent free. You absorbed their critique. And even if you knew in your heart it wasn't the truth, it was never your truth, it affected you. And it slowed you down. It invited you to kind of reconnect with your own magic. And that's the thing. When people judge us, critique us, and in the beginning of the session, I talked about like a few negative comments that I received. And I never absorbed the negativity. Never. I used to when I was younger, but now I don't. I always use that to kind of reset and remind myself why I'm doing those things. It helps me realign with my why. And Five of Swords is very uncomfortable, but it will help you realign with your why. And it's interesting because it's the card that comes up before the Six of Swords. And I just said, I'm sensing Taurus has left the building. And then the Ten of Cups came up, Five of Swords. There's something negative, challenging, kind of dense, dark energies that it happened to you. It messed with your head for a while, but it realigned you with your truth, with your why. It happened because you had to remember what your power is, where your power lives. And now you're bringing back your magic kind of where you are welcomed. When love is no longer being served at the table, you know when to leave and go. That's one of your superpowers as a Taurus. You forgive, you learn to trust again, but when it's enough, and you never look back. That's the power of fixed earth. We will listen. We will give you the benefit of the doubt. We will definitely accept a sincere apology, but nothing less than that. We're never looking back. So a lot of folks think that we're very cold and, whatever they think. You have left the building. I feel like someone is going to deeply regret how they've treated you, the things that they said, even if in some way I feel like there was a lot of lies kind of intertwined with an opinion and something that just was never true. You're not looking back. It realigns you with your truth. Ten of Cups. This card is, and not only is kind of the natural evolution from the Nine of Cups, from the wish come true, we are getting to that wish and we're able to kind of release the heaviness emotionally, the doubts. We've been through the whole story of the cups. We've learned to love ourselves. We've made space for grief at our table. We've connected with the inner child. Like the storyline of the cups is so intense. It's like an emotional roller coaster. And you are at the end of a chapter, of a very specific chapter, probably with someone or with something that you once loved. But again, when love is no longer being served, you're getting up. You're getting up and you're leaving. And the Queen of Pentacles. You, grounded, nurturing that seed, nurturing this project, this thing, this passion project, this wish, this potential. You understand now that it is worth your time. It is worth your energy. Something's brewing in your cauldron. Something is cooking. It's almost ready. It's almost ready to be kind of expressed and shared with the world. I think this is something you're going to build over time. It's something that requires, time, energy, effort, and love. That's the thing. It's like this passion project, this thing that is ruled by love. It's going to feel different from the things that you've created before, from the goals that you've achieved before, because it is simply ruled by love, and there's no doubt here. No one can get in the way of you becoming. Again, I know the Knight of Wands hasn't showed up today, and I still have 2 cards to pick, but the sun came up, and it does feel like Knight of Wands is not even powerful enough to express what I felt. And that's why the sun came up. You're becoming the sun. You're becoming this. I keep getting this symbol of a butterfly, and I don't know why. I'm like fighting this image. Why am I fighting this image? Ace of Cups. There's something divine here. It's you being so aware of your own magic and your own power. And when we truly know who we are, when we walk in each room with that confidence and that self-love, Ace of Cups, there's something magnetic. The invitations are going to find you. People are going to ask you to collaborate. They're going to ask you out. It's like you're attracting so much right now just by being present and by taking care of yourself. And again, embodying the energy of the sun in some way, which I don't know what it means for you personally. I know what it means for me, but I'd be curious to know how you're receiving this message to embody the sun. The sun for me is fixed fire because it's Leo. So when I think about like, okay, how am I being invited to embody the sun? It's like nurturing the things that always lived within me. Fixed fire is the light that never goes out. And I have my moon in the sign of Leo. Maybe you have some Leo placement here. And this is a message that's been coming up a lot. Working with fixed fire, working with this light that never goes out within you. Okay, what are the two cards that are meant to come up today for Taurus? Two cards. We have the Five of Wands and the World card. So I'm laughing because Five of Wands is Leo. Five of Wands is the heart. It's when we're kind of fighting against what our heart wants. We're invited to collaborate because the heart knows something that the mind cannot grasp yet. It's like, I know I was born for this, but when I stop and think about it, it makes no sense. I'm looking at the timing of things and I'm thinking about all the practical details, but my heart is saying, no, this is meant to be. It's the thing that keeps finding you because it is meant to be. It's the thing that you keep putting on the back burner, but it always finds you because it is part of your purpose. So the mind and the heart are currently realigning. And realignment, it takes time. Fives are connected to change, but fives are like very intense contractions. It's not comfortable to move through change, especially as a fixed sign. And, I'm all fixed. My sun, moon, rising, I'm all fixed energy. And I adore change. That's something that I never really understood about my chart because I love change. When I'm ready for change, I embrace it. Like massive life change. I'm very loyal and I will stay somewhere for many, many, many years. And then I will wake up one morning and I know in my heart it's time to change. So I don't associate fixed energy with people who are afraid of change, I just feel like we are very careful when it comes to change. Here we have the World card, which, by the way, is connected to all the fixed signs. We have Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius here. This card is connected to fix, and it is the biggest ending in the tarot. It is the end of the major arcana. It's when we never look back. We graduate. We're saying, I'm free. I'm free from something that I've been trapped in and kind of feeling stuck in somewhere, feeling like things are not evolving, things are not changing, but finally change is here. So, how are you showing up here? It's going to be different for each and every one of you, and it really is about how you are embracing change. And maybe your brain is like, no, I want stability. I want to stay where I am. You've outgrown where you are right now. It does not fit you anymore. It does not fit all of that magic and all of that power that wants to be shared and expressed. I said this earlier, but you don't fit in that box that was very comfortable. This way that people see you, the perception that they have of you, it's very comfortable for them also to put you in that box and be like, okay, Taurus is, that's what they do, that's what they're good at, that's what they're known for. And it's uncomfortable for you and for others to kind of shift this whole perspective. How they perceive you is none of your business. And what they have to say about it, again, it's your job to not absorb that. If you end up absorbing it, if it end up, again, messing up with your head, it's not going to be permanent. It will realign you. And that's the beauty of challenges. It's the beauty of messing up, making mistakes. Even like one of my favorite things I like to think about is like why I love meditation so much. It rewires your brain because when you're meditating, every time your mind drifts away, it's an invitation to come back into presence. It's an invitation to realign, an opportunity to realign. Meditation is not about not thinking and having like a clear mind. It is about sitting with all the thoughts that are coming up, realigning with your breath, reconnecting with your body, and again, knowing that it is an invitation to realign. February is probably feeling a little messy, a little confusing for you. I just want to hold space for that. Especially now that we're seeing so much online, like it's the new year, it's the new beginning, the fire horse year, come on, all of the trends astrologically, this is your time. And you're like, why do I feel stuck? Why am I not feeling this new beginning? I feel it in my heart, but my mind is not aligning with that right now. Just know that there's nothing wrong with you. It is the bigger contraction of the mind, the invitation to realign that you needed. It's happening exactly when you needed it most. And in the month of March, I think that things are finally going to flow. There's still some figuring out to do. It's not like you're going to snap your fingers, March 1st is here and everything is clear as day. But there's always the opportunity to realign, to take more steps, and then realign, take a few more steps. That is the sacred pace of Taurus. It's not a straight line. And it's all about how you perceive the ups and downs and the contraction. It's the end of self-blame. It really is the end of self-blame. It is the end of comparing your journey to others. You are supposed to move slow. And there's a reason for that. There's a magical reason behind that. It's not like you're making excuses. It's taking more time because what is waiting for you at the end is so worth it. It is so worth your time and worth the ups and downs. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. Thank you for your magic and for your just honoring me and honoring my work. And I received so much love in the past reading, and just I connected with so many of you, and I feel seen. I feel just very welcome in the space, and it makes me very grateful, very happy. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.